A first for NASA today. Its first asteroid samples fetched all the way from deep space landed back on Earth today in the Utah desert. This was the end of a 7-year journey. The OSIRIS-REx spacecraft made a flyby of Earth and released the capsule today, and it came down on a remote expanse of military land. Not without its excitement. The parachute opened 4 times higher than expected. It still landed successfully, though, carrying about a cup's worth of pebbles and dust from the asteroid Bennu. Those pebbles 4.5 billion years old, and scientists are hoping that they'll reveal clues about the birth of our solar system and life here on Earth. But speaking of Bennu, NASA also releasing an ominous date, saying that there is a chance the asteroid could hit Earth in the future. It passes about every 6 years. The past 3 flybys have been close encounters. Well, NASA now calculating it could hit Earth with the force of at least 24 nuclear bombs, but not until the year 2182. And they say the odds are slim, still about 2,700 to 1. We do want to bring in renowned astrophysicist and author Dr. deGrasse Tyson now. So good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us here on NewsNation.
Thanks for having me back.
Neil, there's so much to get to. Let's start with Bennu. I know there's a lot of excitement, and a huge congrats goes to the whole team of engineers and the scientists who successfully brought that 4.5 billion-year-old sample back. I do want to ask that date, generating a lot of headlines for Bennu possibly hitting Earth, 2182. Do we have the technology we need to deal with an asteroid coming towards Earth?
We do in the movies, for sure.
Oh, no.
Bruce Willis will save us all.
Oh, boy.
No. So first of all, Bennu is one of thousands of asteroids whose orbit crosses that of Earth. And NASA has a very high priority program to track those asteroids. Of course, it's high priority. But that just gives us the knowledge that it might hit, but not the power to do anything about it. It seems to me that 160 years in the future, that's a plenty long enough lead time to say, hey, even though the chance is only 1 in about 3,000, let's use this as a reason to develop a defense program where we would deflect the asteroids. And by the way, no, you don't want to movies want to blow them up, but a kinder, gentler way is you deflect it, either ahead of us or behind us in its orbit crossing of Earth. And so one thing you need to know to be successful there is, what is the structural integrity of the rock? In recent decades, we have learned that some asteroids are just kind of loosely held together rubble piles. And that's a curious fact. So if you try to push it in one section, that piece could break off, leaving the other piece unscathed and still on its way towards Earth.
Yikes.
So in this sample return, which was almost a kilogram's worth of material, it would have been happy with just a few grams. It got a whole kilogram, about half a pound of Bennu rock and dust. Oh, by the way, I got to slip in here. This craft left Earth itself a moving platform to intersect Bennu, a moving target. It did a touch and go, grabbed material in that process, continued back to Earth, deployed the capsule so that it drops in a secure space in Utah on a rotating Earth, and the capsule went on to go to another asteroid.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It boggles the mind. And yet I need them to figure out the second part, though, Neil, of deflecting the thing so it doesn't hit. I really need them to figure that out.
We all do, but 150 years, that ought to be enough time.
Okay, I hope so.
To figure this out.
And in the meantime, I have to ask you about NASA releasing its year-long study on UAPs or UFOs. I know it relied exclusively on non-classified material. I mean, Neil, do you think this was a mistake? How can you do a comprehensive study without looking at the good stuff?
Well, you're assuming the classified material is the good stuff.
No?
Often, the classified material is not because it sees something weird or unusual, but because the tools and the detectors used for it have certain specs that you don't want to reveal to your enemy. So that's typically what a classified document contains, just so you know. Okay? Now, separate from that, we see these fuzzy monochromatic images. And I've said this before, there's 8 billion smartphones in the world. We are unwittingly have the power to crowdsource any alien invasion. There's 1 million people in any moment airborne. with a window, and they've got a high resolution color smartphone.
You want the receipts. You want the receipts, Neil. You show me the money is what you're saying when it comes to this stuff. I hear you. And Neil,
then we had the then we had the aliens in Mexico.
Yes,
right? Those were fun.
Yes.
Roll those out, and I said to myself, that's a start. If you got aliens, don't leave them in a locked box. Bring them out. And now the next step, there you go. The next step is share those data with other scientists in skeptical labs. And if they agree, then we're onto something. If they show that it's made out of cake, which there was a viral video that went around, then it's a hoax. But I love it. I'm a little odd that it has a nose.
I mean, Neil, right? I mean, they wheel these things out. I'm glad that your scientific mind is genuinely just like guileless and curious. The rest of us looking at this and we're like, oh no, like what is this? It doesn't look great, Neil. And it looks like what Hollywood thinks an alien would look like.
Exactly.
What makes us think that it's going to have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth and be bipedal and not be the size of a bacterium? Neil, explain that to me. No, but Neil, one more thing before we talk about your book. I mean, we're in this moment, right? Incredible calls for transparency and information. We hear the congressional hearings, allegations of alien bodies, alien craft in custody. Do you think that the public has a right to all of the information that the government has on UAPs right now? Do you think that would even be good for our society if all of that came out at once?
I don't see why not. I don't know what anybody's afraid of.
All right.
It's just data, it's information.
Yeah.
And if they have a living alien, that's even better. Bring them out. All right, let's talk to them, figure out what it is odd, though, that all Hollywood aliens do have a head, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, shoulders, arms, fingers, be they 3 fingers or 4 or 5, legs. That is kind of odd. Most life on Earth with whom we have DNA in common does not look human.
Right.
Like lobsters.
It's going to look like an octopus, 100%.
Something, exactly.
100%, Neil. I'm not convinced that octopus is not an alien. Anyways.
Or the blob.
Yes. Blob, amoeba, all of it. Neil, with the time we have, I have to talk about your new book, To Infinity and Beyond. I've been enjoying it so much, and not only because it has such good science, but it has these stunning illustrations in it as well, and these breakout sections that talk about science and popular culture. And so you and Lindsay write that the Death Star explosion, that iconic explosion in Star Wars, is one of the most embarrassing in Hollywood. Succinctly, why did they get that wrong? What was so bad about it?
So this book is an ascent from Earth's surface to the edge of the universe and beyond. Some places we have reached with our bodies, the moon, but beyond that, our robotic emissaries. And every place, there's scenery along the way where if there's Hollywood movie that attempted something that we're talking about, I'm going to get in there and tell you whether they got it right or wrong. Yeah, so we talk about the Hulk. We talk about time travel warp drives when we want to talk about going great distances. And that's the pop culture thread of the book. There's science, pop culture, and humor, which are the strands, the DNA strands, if you forgive me, the DNA strands of my podcast, Star Talk. This is the 3rd book in a collaboration with National Geographic Books. And it's a beautiful book.
It's beautiful.
Because that's how National Geographic rolls.
No, it's gorgeous. Okay? But when the Death Star exploded, are you saying that big explosions don't happen in space? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, not with the sound. And it would be a silent thing. And you wouldn't see flames that are burning off the combustion. No, and so I mention it, but most of what is in Star Wars, I don't have the time. There's a scene where the TIE fighters are coming in, and there's a big open dock where they come in from space, and the people just standing there. Like, what are they breathing? Okay, and plus they're using the traffic cones, the hand cones that they use for airplanes. You think? Still, centuries in the future, you're going to bring the aircraft in with the guy on the no.
I can't tell if watching Star Wars with you would be like the most fun that I've ever had in my life, or just completely ruin this iconic piece of cinema. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I could talk to you for the whole 2 hours tonight, but thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it so much.
Happy to offer whatever expertise I can.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.